everyone. Welcome back to the Instant Reaction. We have deserved that result for about 5 years at St James's Park. That was an unbelievable Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2. Gabriel wins it at the death. I don't know what to say. I don't know where my head's at. This wasn't just 3 points. It's way bigger than what the 3 points actually is. And for this team to get beyond and over that mental block, that barrier that has been St James's Park and beat Newcastle, today is a day to celebrate. They stood up. The squad stood up. And I've got to say, there were moments where I thought, are they actually going to do it? But my word, did they? I think Gary Neville even said during the game, champions would be winning at this point, and no doubt did we do it. It's vindication, and I am so happy that we finally got this win, and we're over that Ducks. We have to talk about that opening half an hour. That is the best we've played away at Newcastle for about 2 years. We were fantastic. We dictated things well. We were the most threatening side. The midfield balance with Eze, Rice and Zubimendi looked unreal. And Eze was just so intelligent. He was picking up areas of the pitch that were causing problems constantly. And even in Trossard, he had a mixed bag today. He played a really unselfish role, allowing Eze to enter and operate in those pockets of space. It was so good. And we've been talking about it on this channel. We've been saying, when are Arsenal going to change it up? How long is it going to take for the things to click? And it wasn't all perfect by any means. But we created so many opportunities and so many openings in that first half an hour. And Eze forced a great save for Nick Pope early on. And I just felt like, finally we're seeing a little bit of impetus at the beginning of a game away from home. And I even talked about it on my match preview. I said, Eze or Wineri, in those positions in zone 14, can they get shots away like from outside the box? And my word, did he do a good job of that. Unfortunately, there was a major turning point in the game, I guess you'd call it, and that's the overturned penalty. Gyökeres is brought down by Pope after a loose back pass. The referee pointed to the spot, and VAR, regardless of it being clear and obvious or not, they overrule it. It's just the frustration from the inconsistencies across the PGMOL is unbelievable. It just drives me insane. It just felt like, yet again, we are not getting the rub of the green. I just cannot understand why the refs feel the need that they have to interfere. Like we've seen it recently, players getting penalties. I think there was a Chelsea one recently. My head's gone, to be honest with you. Nevertheless, I'll step in and declare it not a penalty when the rule book states, it's not about the keeper getting the ball. The keeper has taken the man. I mean, it is what it is, and I'm so glad we don't have to spend too much time talking about that, because if it wasn't for that last action, we would be, and people would be saying, typical Arsenal fans complaining about the referee, but it's not about that. It's not about that. Despite that, we kept pushing. Trossard struck the near post, a sharp attack involving Rice. Pope was worked to the bone in that opening 30 minutes as well. But against the run of the play, Newcastle then go and take the lead in the 34th minute. Mascara sloppily gives away a corner. And from a short corner, Tonali crosses it, and Walter Marder nudges Gabriel in the back, who goes down far too easily. He is weak on that. It was something we saw actually And surely he should be learning from this with Joel Linton pushing him in the back, We've seen it before. Like, why he's going down that easily, I don't know. But nevertheless, we're trailed 1-0 at the break. And we all felt, I'm sure, that horrible, that creeping doubt, that negative feeling creeping in. And it felt like the usual Arsenal, I put a tweet out saying, dictated the play, controlled the game, had most possession, but it doesn't matter. We've gone in and we have to get the 3 points. And I even said yesterday, with Liverpool losing, I just had this horrible feeling of Arsenal not regaining the points, not capitalising on that. But I was wrong. And, this team stood up. Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta has got to take some credit here. He recognised that Mascara was having a tricky half. He brought in Saliba at the break. And the substitutions were, they're extraordinary. I think that was the one that, raised a lot of eyebrows, taking Mascara off at half-time. I thought, God, that's a big statement. And Saliba instantly kind of makes a mistake. And I thought, what are we doing here? But nevertheless, in the long run, that was the right choice. And I presume it's probably premeditated as well. I hope so, to a certain extent. You don't want a player like Mascara, losing that confidence already and being pulled out like that. So I hope he gets another opportunity very, very soon, because it's really important for him. But, the way Arteta looked at it, and Saka doesn't have the minutes in his legs to keep going, and he's pulled off as well. And you've got Martinelli coming on, and the Marino substitution, for all of the negativity and all of the criticism that he has received, from me included, this is what I want from Marino. This is what I want from Mikel Marino. But we'll get into that a bit more in a minute. Let's go to Pope, because I mentioned him earlier. Pope was in inspired form. He turned into prime Buffon. He was unbelievable at points, and he made his best stop of the game when he flicked away Urian Timber header, and Martin Zubimendi then he dinked in, but Arteta made those changes, noticing that we couldn't break through that barrier of Pope. Martinelli comes in for Saka. Marino comes on for Calafiori. Marino's introduction allowed Rice to sit kind of further up, because he was quite deep at times. And I like him in these deeper areas. But Zubimendi was being the more kind of aggressive one. And as the game went on, Rice started to kind of take that over and take on that mantle. And nevertheless, in true Rice fashion, he then steps up, whips a cross in. Marino flicks his header in off the far post to get us back level. And that goal, I think, is his 7th for Arsenal in the Premier League in this calendar year. This is what I want to see from Marino. I don't want to see him spearheading our midfield. I want him to spearhead our attack. I had a dispute, shall we say, with Wackles, saying that he's the Havertz replacement. Gyökeres is a complete different profile, but I see Marino as a striker now. I don't see him in this system. I don't see him as a midfielder as such. Although he can do a job, as he's shown, as an impact midfielder, so slightly different. But the finish, the absolute amazing finish to this game. We showed immense character to keep going. And the tempo that we were playing at, and the tempo that Arteta was telling us to play at, we threw the kitchen sink on. But Odegaard and his injection of just speed, moving the ball quickly, the tempo just rose so much. And then in the 96th minute, we get a winner, and Gabriel makes amends for the mistake earlier in the game, rises highest to meet Odegaard's corner and nods it in again. And timed out 95 minutes, I think 45 seconds. It's Arsenal's second latest winning game in a Premier League away game ever. That's massive. That's monumental. We are mentality monsters at this point. You know, people have been saying about Liverpool this, Liverpool that. Arsenal right now are showing that they have got the cojones to go on and do very well and keep challenging at this title. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but they will be there. And this has proved a point. You know, this is a game that in previous years we would have lost 1-0, or maybe we would have gone on and got a draw at best. Today, we get the victory. We get the 3 points. It's unbelievable. Looking at it from like more of a statistical standpoint, like we dominated Newcastle. Their defence had conceded the lowest expected goals against in the league, and we finish with 1.8 xG to 0.5. We had 20 shots to their 8, and we had 63.9% possession away at St James's Park. The fact that we created from open play like significant chances against the best, like statistically the best defense in the league at this point was, I mean, that's testament to the individuals and the work Arteta must be putting in. You know, it wasn't free flowing throughout the game, but the start of the game and the end of the game, those 2 periods have been the most important for Liverpool, and we're showing right now they were the most important for us. And it's important that we are bombarding these teams. I grew up watching United doing it, and it's great to see us doing it. We have to, if we want to win this league, we are going to have to do that. I'm going to get onto some individuals because individual praise is due as well. Declan Rice. What a player. Like, he always shows up when there's a breakaway and a quick transition. He's always putting these dead balls in. Like, his crosses, his corners are on the money every single time. And when it's crunch time, he gets it. You know, he hits it on a sixpence. It is perfect. Gabriel, I want to speak about him very quickly. Like, he made this mistake, and then the character that he shows, and this is why I've talked about him as a captain for our club. He completely redeemed himself by getting that match winner. Like, what a story in itself. And Victor Gyökeres, that is his best performance for 90 minutes in Arsenal. You know, able to hold players off, bring others into play. He constantly running, constantly causing problems, giving more space to the midfielders than the attackers. Like, he was competitive. You know, he showed aggression against a Newcastle defence that are known for their aggression. Like, he was fantastic. And this victory is just huge for the title race. Like, we needed this result, and we overcame that St James's Park curse, that horrible feeling of St James's Park, and potentially, you know, we could have lost this game, whether that's through the refereeing or, you know, against the run of play and their goal, but we won. This victory, especially against, you know, our kryptonite, you could call it, in mid-blocks, it's an absolutely monumental day for Arsenal. And I'm hoping that this is going to be the catalyst for a fantastic run of form, because we have got some really difficult games. We've got some tricky fixtures with teams that play in a way, you know, defend in a way that we could find difficult to overcome. But if we can do it against Newcastle, we can do it against those other teams. And we deserved this win. We created, we showed mentality. And now it's time that we can relax. We can enjoy that. Thank you for, you know, tuning in. hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I will be here more often. I'm going to try to be here after every single game. Tomorrow, I will be meeting up with Yembele from the Latte Firm for a monthly review, which will be happening every single month. Tell me in the comments, how high are you right now? Like, I feel like I'm on Mars. Like, how do you feel? Was the lineup right? Were the substitutions right? How did you feel after that Newcastle goal going in? Let me know. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.